Hello everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer of words, recorder of videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to Patron D&D, where platinum level patrons and I get together to play Dungeons & Dragons via Discord and Roll20. These sessions are entirely supported by patrons of patreon.com/roguewatson. Patrons also get exclusive access to private videos, custom 5e content, and participate in monthly DM roundtables and these Patron D&D games. These games are not live streamed, but are recorded for your viewing pleasure. You can watch more D&D sessions, reviews, and crafting streams on the channel. Read recaps at roguewatson.com and listen to all of these shows with the Rogue Watson podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts. You can join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. Our music is by Kevin MacLeod, and our amazing original character art was done by Jimmy McClure. Welcome to Chapter 5, Episode 7 of our Empire of the Ghouls campaign, designed by Richard Green and published by Kobold Press. This session I am joined by patrons Brandon, playing Bahn, the Kobold Bard College of Whispers.
Hey there.
Dory, playing Io, the gearforged Circle of the Moon Druid.
Hello.
Jason, playing Zaberi, the human battlemaster fighter / wizard.
Hello.
Morgan, playing Millie, the human way of the Kensei Monk.
Hello.
Stan, playing Alaric, the dhampir Death Domain Cleric / Bard.
Greetings.
Previously on Empire of the Ghouls. Following the rest of Narrow Zane's sanctum, the party traveled to a more remote part of the Imperium known as the Dragon Graveyard, hoping to recover the Ghoul Lord's staff. A friendly ghoul guard named Slathers warned them of the dangers beyond. A young cave dragon survived the eradication by the Imperium years ago, and now he's all grown up and very pissed off. He's also attracted a loyal following of kobolds and whatever other creatures dwell in rough cave systems. The party reached the entrance flanked by ghoul heads mounted on pikes. They decided to scout ahead using Zaberi's familiar and Io's earth elemental form. They spotted a lounging cave drake and a kobold wizard before the wizard blasted the familiar. Io returned to the closer enemy, burst out of the ground, and grappled the drake, but when the rest of the party began charging, they tripped over a trap, sending a large bell crashing down and alerting the kobold guards. As the party fanned out, the kobolds began throwing traps and shooting crossbows, while most of the party had their hands full with one and then two large cave drakes. Rai attacked the kobold wizard only to agitate a necromantic graveyard dragon whose fiery breath nearly wiped the entire rest of the party in a single blast. Io was forced to shift back to heal the party, and then they rallied to defeat the dragon and the wizard. The rest of the kobolds retreated into the depths, leaving the wounded party little choice but to pull back for a short rest. So even though you guys have made it somewhat into this dangerous region, you then had to immediately retreat out of said region in order to rest up. So you find yourselves once again back at the entrance of this place, and we welcome Millie and Alaric to this location as well.
Alaric has been working with Bahn's staff and teaching them how to make flutes out of femur bones and teaching them funeral dirges from Krakova while you guys have been out and about. It's appropriate considering the environment.
Oh, perfect. Billy walks up to the rest of the group, kind of wiping her hands and saying, "Good luck finding a little ladies' room down here."
So, did you guys get the staff?
The melancholic shakes of the heads with their reply.
What happened? Io,
Good,
what
ass is
happened?
kicked, man. Right.
Well, I think the farthest we got was about 30 feet into the cave. And then, dragons and fire and Zaberi.
Fine.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, Zaberi sort of took a nap right at my feet. We got hit pretty hard.
I'm sorry, Io. I know you take those personally.
Mm.
I have an idea, and Alaric looks at Bahn, but I'm going to need some assistance. Bahn,
Yeah.
follow me, please. I
follow.
need you to use your language to say everything I say.
How about we vet it first?
I would just like to introduce myself to our friend and tell him that we have mutual enemies in common, and he's already experienced one tragedy. I'm familiar with tragedy, and tell him we just need the staff to go bring his enemies great pain. We don't mean to cause him any further harm.
Well, I mean, don't we have to get through these pesky kobolds first?
I don't know if we need to get through them, and I'm sure they can carry on a message for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind to announce you.
It's not necessarily announcing me, but
Oh, as far as draconic, is that what you mean?
yes.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm understanding now.
By the way, quick note for what you're seeing on the map, since you guys are back on this Dragon Graveyard map. Some of these T's that you'll see are triggered traps that you guys have already sprung. So I decided to put those on the map to make them a little bit visible. But these were giant tripwires with crashed bells that came down, and they came down in two different areas where you all triggered them last time, which was down this hallway and then down this hallway.
By the way, can I light up the gem of brightness? I'm just going to be carrying it. I'm not going to have the raven out right now.
Sure. What's that? How much does that give you?
I think it's 30 feet. Or is it 20 feet and 20 feet? Let me see. Where is it? Gem. Where is the gem of brightness? There it is.
30 foot, 30 foot, and 30 foot is actually, that's very bright.
30 foot and 30 foot.
It's my idea. If you don't want to, that's fine.
All right, you see Millie light up this gem that really illuminates. Like, these are dark, dark caves all around you, and this thing really just lights up everything like a beacon.
Hope this is okay. I can't really see.
Me either.
I can't either right now
It's fine.
until I shift. So, I was gonna kind of read Bahn's confusion and kind of interpret that maybe Alaric doesn't exactly understand like what happened. So I'm gonna just put my hand on Alaric's shoulder. I'm gonna say, no, we don't even know where the dragon is yet. That's we only got 30 feet into the cave, and the cave is like a spider web. So if Bahn were to give your message, it would probably be going to dead air right now.
Or more drakes.
They would speak your language, wouldn't they?
I don't think drakes speak me.
Speak me.
Would I know if they do? Can I roll a nature check?
Let's see. Cave Drake.
Alaric's a little frustrated. For once, he's trying not to kill something.
Well, if you only got 30 feet in, seems like you move a little slower around these caves than maybe I could. Maybe I should scout it out a little bit for us.
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, you should definitely go far ahead of everybody else.
Quiet, you. I just want to have some fun in these tunnels. They seem amusing.
Bahn, for your earlier question, you can make a history or nature check to determine if cave drakes speak.
It is the same. I like the idea of Bahn using history. It's a 5.
You don't even know what a cave drake is. It's like a big lizard.
I'm pretty sure it's just a beast.
I have history as a skill. Can I roll that?
Sure.
Oh, I don't know why.
Maybe you recalled something.
Maybe I know something.
Not much more.
A little bit more.
Right? Aren't they beasts?
Pretty bestial. Cave drakes are normal, right?
Oh Jesus!
And then that one with a +7 too. That hurts.
The big lizard.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. Again, I think you guys are underestimating these kobolds. I mean, I'm trying not to be biased, but they're gonna be pretty difficult, I think.
I have no problem putting the undead down. These are living things.
The kobolds.
The kobolds are living. This is a dragon.
When it lit us on fire.
A bone dragon, I understand.
It's a cave dragon.
But I understand what it's like to have someone come into your home and take everything. The same people that attacked my country, that killed my friends, eradicated his family.
That sucks. I mean, I don't think he's going to listen, but I'm down to try.
I don't think he's going to listen either. But everybody knows she's saying that just because she wants to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
Millie, if you want to lead, that's fine. I'll be behind you.
Sure. Okay. So I'm going to start off by using my bonus action dash, just so I can kind of make it through a little quicker. Let's see.
Does your monk things give you ignore difficult terrain?
No, but my what's it called? What is it called? Mobile feat does.
Okay.
Mobile lets me ignore difficult terrain whenever I dash. Oh, I'll put it in the chat.
We talked about this, I think, on the Discord, that it makes...
Yeah.
Mechanically, it makes sense. Thematically, I want you to try to sell this on how you moving faster allows you to get through a tight-knit cave system of stalagmites and stalactites that normally slows everybody down.
So Millie is kind of limbering up a little bit, and what she plans on doing is she's going to be doing like kind of parkour, tumbling through like little gaps and stuff like that. Doing handstands, hand plants and everything like that. Kind of parkour all the way through all these. And she's hoping to dash as quickly as she can. If that doesn't work, she can still move up to 90 feet in a round, even with difficult terrain.
Okay.
So
I would, yes, you can do that. I will beg you to not to move your token very quickly, if that makes sense. Like you would normally.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's a very tiny, tight-knit map and there's things around.
So she is going to start off. She has 60 feet of... Well, is it difficult terrain then?
Yes, the whole area. So I guess I should paint a picture for some of you that weren't here last time. This area is you've been going through these bigger, large like highway tunnel systems, and now you've reached this area that's clearly like a cavernous lair, but it's so made up of these spider webbing, labyrinthine tunnels, and there's huge amounts of stalagmites and stalactites just choking every single like tunnel and area to where you're having to like scooch and sorry, the cat is like screaming right now. What is your problem? And like scooting around everything and just trying to avoid these very, very tight tunnel systems. This is unlike any of the other areas you have ever seen down here. So it is all considered to be difficult terrain for sure.
Okay. So she's going to kind of go up this way first, up diagonally this way. So
When you-
5.
Start to go away.
Oh.
Bon says, "Oh, somebody should have told her to watch for traps."
We did.
Oh, she
Well, the
just
DM
runs
did.
heedlessly in. She's moving as quickly as she can. 5, 10,
All right,
15.
give me one second.
Okay.
With your parkouring maneuver, I'm gonna have you roll a just straight up d20. Just give me a just regular d20 roll.
You got it. And
Okay, so you managed to kind of parkour your way up into here, and then when you reach this junction, and you pass through, there is a macro I would like you to roll. How exciting.
ooh.
And the macro is called, if you can guess, Dragon Graveyard Traps.
Oh no! If someone had
Okay.
only warned
I would like
her.
you to roll on that one. You did bypass one thing, but then there's another one that comes out. The Ear Buster.
I was kind of hoping for random treasure generator.
Ooh.
but
Right. Roll on the random treasure generator. So in this case, you randomly end up just on the ground during one of your parkour maneuvers and happen to trigger this particular trap, which is this one. The good news is nobody's around you, though. The Earbuster Trap. Each creature within 10 feet of the pressure plate must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw against, my goodness, 48 thunder damage. That
Wow.
was some dice.
Oh.
What's with you and the what is you and the damage rolls?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
There's still 2 2s rolling
Well,
on that too.
I know.
Con
Yeah.
save.
Eight,
She
eight,
out of
9.
sight.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm like Io is gonna straight up like lose her mind if another person goes down.
I'm going to use my inspiration on that.
Go ahead. For your question about out of sight, like you all we're going to be pretty strict in terms of where your tokens are and what you can see, because visibility is going to be very limited here. However, you guys are making an effort to try to light things up. And oh my goodness, that was another 3 from Millie.
Oof.
Oh, that was
Well.
fast.
Yeah, so you randomly you start hustling around, and all of a sudden you just step on something, and then this loud just crash for 48 thunder damage, and you're deafened for an hour and stunned for a minute. So whatever middle of action you were doing with your awesome runs, you just like drop to the ground.
Oh no.
One goes
Well,
like
that.
And obviously you all hear that for sure.
what direction was she going?
In fact, I'm going to have everybody roll initiative.
Let's see.
I was gonna say Io would have instantly taken off and not even.
Let's see if there's anything I can do.
Ooh, I don't think my APIs are working. Let me check that.
You may spend a key point to unstun yourself.
I
Let's get a saving
does
throw
this
at the end of
count
each of your turn.
as poison?
The
Ear poison?
thunderous ear. Yeah. Is it not poison for the ears?
Oh no, it's Nickelback.
There we go.
Sorry if somebody likes Nickelback.
Oh.
My wife's a fan. Okay, we should have the circle back now. All right, so I'm putting you on initiative because you can sense danger afoot after Millie triggers this deafening, stunning, blasting trap.
Okay, and I am stunned.
Yeah, Millie, you're the first to... That's actually not great for you because you are stunned. However, you can repeat the save at the end of your turn. So you can repeat the DC 15 Constitution save to try to get out of the stun.
Oh, well, I
condition.
will definitely try that.
Just your ears are still ringing. And okay, that's good news. I believe you're still deafened, though, right? Is creature repeat? Yeah. So unfortunately, this is a classic like grenade went off like right next to you or something, to where you hear that like whining sound and like all other sound, like, and you just hear that terrible whining, and that's just all you hear. And for the next hour, I think, yeah, deafened for an hour.
Ooh.
Okay. No
That's
longer
disadvantage.
For what? Oh, deafened.
Is that disadvantage on attack rolls?
I don't think deafened actually has a whole lot other than
No, it's nothing like that.
yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's honestly just for like communication purposes. I think it's a pain in the ass.
Oh,
yeah, it just says you can't hear and
fails...
automatically fail ability checks that require hearing.
And of course, I didn't take observant, so no reading lips. Well, I think that's really all I can do then. I'm just unstunned.
Yeah, because it was the end of your turn to make the save. So you do see Millie begin to kind of shake her head probably and get the effects of the stun out. Bahn, as you see, or you probably felt that didn't quite reach you all, which maybe that's fortuitous that she ran ahead and triggered that.
But the whole place probably heard that as well.
Yeah, and keep in mind, the other traps were also those giant bells that came down and gave off a large sound, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing Bahn can really do here other than just say, well, that was fast. I'll take some difficult movement steps up to here to just kind of hold this junction for a second.
Is that what you meant by 30 feet?
More or less. Okay. From out of the shadows, I'm actually gonna see if they can still ambush you with a... Millie, what is your passive perception?
That
was a terrible roll.
It is 14.
Okay. And because you're no longer stunned, that part is good. This kobold does not surprise you when they shoot you with their crossbow. Or attempt to shoot you. Ooh,
oh, yeah, they definitely hit with that.
We got the nat 20 anyway.
Oh my god.
With the DM's first attack roll of the sesh. And he's rolling a lot of dice tonight. 13 piercing damage.
13.
Although, yeah, you motherfucker, you're immune to poison. You find their poison tip bolts would do a devastating amount of damage, but not so much against you. However, I am going to ask you to roll on the massive damage table because that was a critical hit.
Let's see, massive damage.
Alright, the blow is so strong it does knock you prone. It's actually probably not good for the kobolds who prefer to shoot at you, actually. And you see this one slink away. And then we go to Io.
Okay. So Bahn took off in the direction of where Millie is. Ish.
I headed there.
Okay. Can I get past you or no?
You know, I was thinking about that. I think I could have moved over 1 square, but I didn't. So I guess it would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I don't, unless you dash, I don't think you could get past me.
Okay.
Well, is difficult terrain? Oh, we talked about this before. Because, like, if you're prone and it's difficult terrain, then it's like quartered. But
Yeah.
is it difficult terrain if you're going past an ally? Like, is it double difficult terrain then?
I don't think it would probably double in that
Not-
case.
It's not called difficult terrain. It just says it uses twice your
Oh,
movement.
twice your movement, yeah.
That- it's
That's
you know,
right,
that
yeah,
weird
some of the
sort
terminology,
like
yeah.
hyper specific ruling. So I don't. So it doesn't like double it, but yeah.
Okay.
It still takes more.
So where I'm at right now, I cannot see Millie. So I'm going to move. And if I move right behind Bahn,
I owe you, with your amazing passive perception score, which I don't remember what it is, other than the fact that it's very high.
23.
Thank you. You look
You're
down and see that Bahn, his most forwardest foot, is resting right up against a tripwire.
And I'm in slow motion, like I'm
Yeah.
trying to run toward Millie.
He's
Like,
raised like in running pose, ready to charge forward.
Okay. So, I'm going to make him aware of that so that hopefully he doesn't trip it. I am okay. I'm close enough to do what I'm going to do right now, which is I'm going to cast Aura of Vitality. And that's basically going to create a healing aura around me. It extends out for a 30-foot radius. And as a bonus action, I can target someone to regain hit points. So for this bonus action,
30
I'm
feet.
going to 30 feet. Yep. I'm going to target Millie, and Millie is going to get 9 healing points.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Millie just
I'm-
kind of calls, "Whoever did that, thank you."
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up
You
with
can
the rest of my move.
go ahead and give me an investigation check, just for a free check.
Okay. Is me communicating that tripwire to Bahn enough for him? Or do I need to do something else?
You gotta ask Bahn.
yeah, I mean, I look
mean-
down.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I'm asking you to
Just
give me
an invest-
investigation.
Yep, okay. It's only a 5.
Okay. So you see the tripwire, but you don't see what else is going on with this situation.
Okay. Okay. I yell to everyone that it's at Bahn's feet.
are we saying it's going on the one between me and Millie, or is it going like
It is in your space.
in my space? Okay. That's
So
scary.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to back with the rest of my movement. I'm going to come back here. I want to go 10 feet back with that so I can get out of the way of both Alaric and Zaberi.
Sure.
So, and that is the end of my turn.
Okay. Coming out from another spot. Vaughn, what is your passive perception?
13.
Let's see if we can do a little bit better. No, we can. These kobolds are not being particularly stealthy enough. This one makes its presence known as it peers around the corner and yeah, this one is gonna throw what looks like a rope with a bunch of just metal wire, and as it like hurls it like a sling and throws it at you, the whole thing is thrown, unlike a sling, like a bola, and you see lightning kind of crackle around it as it hurtles towards you, Bahn. With a 20 to hit.
It hits.
Dealing 6 damage, and it literally just wraps around your body, just
Well, that's unfortunate.
and restrains you with lightning arcing around it.
Do I topple over the tripwire? Do you want me to roll like a acrobatics?
Well,
or
here
something?
I think restrained is a different condition than prone, to be fair. But I will.
He doesn't fall prone.
I fall prone at the start of my turn then.
Oh, it does say at the start of your when restrained, your target takes 2d6 lightning damage at the start of its turn and falls prone. Okay, so we'll revisit that if you're still in the
At the start
same
of my turn.
condition.
Oh, you bastard!
Yep. And then you see this one begin to run away. So I have to mark something on there that you've got.
Does
the-
anybody
Can we-
smell that smell? It smells like ozone.
Oh, so-
Smells like burnt dog. It's my second movie reference of the night.
Nice.
I'll try and stop there.
Alaric.
Moving forward. Heard a boom.
We tell where those came from?
It's
crossbow
difficult
shot
terrain
would be
also,
literally-
Alaric.
Where the kobolds are
Pardon?
attacking from? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
One of them attacked from the north of all of you. Up, you can see my pings, and then the other one attacked to the west, kind of southwest area.
I would have pointed, but my arms are restrained.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, part of the challenge is it's like this, just spider webs of caves everywhere. So and these kobolds seem to know their way around very, very well.
Seeing that I have a line of sight down a hallway, is it okay if I hold my attack a chill touch? Actually, a new spell, a new cantrip called Shiver. Can I hold that for the first non-party member that pokes their head out?
Sure. Go into a defensive stance.
Well, wait, holding an action. It's a cantrip that's got 30-foot range.
Gotcha.
So
All right,
Just testing
Zaberi.
something. Okay. One. Wonder if they had time to reset the traps.
Didn't you describe the bells still
Mhm.
being down on the ground?
Yes, yeah. So the ones that you can see right now, which are these big red T's at some of these intersections, have still been sprung, and the bells are still crashed to the ground. Yeah. So
Wait. How did you get all the way up there? Did I miss something?
I took 3 squares and I was at the front of the pack. That's how. I was at the front of the conga line.
Sorry, okay, I didn't know that he went that way, so I was just going to go the other way then. That's fine. So if I try to go
let's
around,
split the party in every different tunnel.
well, we got attackers coming from different directions, right?
You
So
do.
if I was trying to get past Bahn, is there any way of doing that?
So we do have a rule for grabbing somebody and kind of supplanting them in their space. I think that's
Can I try something cool?
Sure.
Maybe. Okay. What I want to try and do is I'm pulling my glaive, not the short thing. I'm gonna try and grab the glaive. I'm gonna try and like hook him around the thing that's wrapped around him. And like I can pull this off. I have a really high athletics score. Kind of like pull up, switch spots with him, and then like rip it off of him.
Like you're fishing for Bahn, except you've got the hook. I guess you're doing like hook fishing, ice fishing maybe. But yes, I like that.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Give me an athletics check, I think,
Okay.
to
Sure.
lift him.
I have a plus 13 to
And
athletics.
if you get good enough on this check, you can also rip it off of him.
Okay. Can we say if... Okay. I'm more interested in getting it off of him than I am of moving.
Okay.
Can I pick that option instead if I get only
Yes.
so good?
Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, you can prioritize ripping it off of him for sure. In fact, that's how we'll do it. If you you can see the escape DC of 13. So if you make a 13 or higher, then you can rip it off of him. If you want to also safely move him out of the way with the same action, we're probably looking at like a 20 or something.
I don't think that's going to be too hard.
Oh!
Wow. Didn't even roll that high,
Very
but it's a little-
nice. All right.
Sweet.
Zaberi, you can have a point of inspiration for a very dramatic rescue of Bahn wrapped up in the electrified bola, freeing him. And I will let you move him maybe behind you or wherever you want to put him.
I wanted to do it as like a flip.
Yep.
If that's okay.
As
If you wanna
you
go back
do
on.
it, Bahn says, "Watch out for that tripwire!"
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, right. Good point. Well, I heard the same. Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever,
Now that you've
same thing.
pointed it out, you guys can move over the tripwire.
I guess one more step this way. Where'd the fucker go? Okay, I'm done.
In fact, I will do the luxury of doing this for you.
Wait, was that an action?
That was an action. Let's see. Because it's escape DC, which usually takes your action to
Yep.
free somebody from
Yeah,
it.
I took one away from him. Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, then I am done.
All right. Let's see if we've got-
Okay.
You're prone.
Well, Millie has to use half of her movement to stand up, so that's going to be 30 feet of movement. So she still can move 15 feet if she needs to in the difficult terrain. Yeah, she's going to do something first, though. For her action, she's going to use... Oh, am I frozen?
Yeah. But it's okay.
Yes. It took me a second.
Okay, let's... Okay. Camera is not working. You guys can still hear me, correct?
Yes.
Mhm.
Although you can't hear anybody else because you're deafened.
Boom.
Oh,
Looks like
Now
you're
you're muted.
muted.
Yeah.
now.
Okay, am I back?
we can hear
You guys
you.
can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my camera. I'm going to switch to a different camera really quick. But I'm going to be using my quickened healing this turn. I'm going to use 2 key points to gain that back. And it's now a D8 for my healing. And I get 8 back. And then I'm going to use a new ability that I have. Sharpen the Blade. At 11th level, I gain the ability to augment my weapon. I'm going to use 3 key points to make it into a +3 sword. and she's going to basically just power up her weapon. She's going to put all of her energies into the blade so it starts glowing, and
I was gonna ask you what
with
that
this
looks like.
deep, like a deep violet kind of light starts glowing out of her sword and like out of her hands. Kind of like if you've ever seen The Last Dragon, kind of like that, only purple instead of yellow. And she is going to move, let's see, 5, 10, and 15 feet. And she's going to stay right there, and that is going to be the end of her turn. Now I'll go try to get my camera to work.
All right, Bahn, you are no longer wrapped up in the bolas.
Yep. And I'm gonna gingerly step over the tripwire, and I'm gonna tell Zaberi, the bastard went down that hall right there. Yeah, you're heading the right direction. Go get him, Tiger. And I'll give you a bardic inspiration.
Ooh, is that my first time?
And,
I think it's my first.
I think I've done it one other time. And then I don't have anything ranged really. I'm going.
You're a
Go ahead.
bard.
Yeah, I guess I have vicious mockery.
Mhm.
I'm gonna hold vicious mockery on the next creature that I see.
All right.
Is that a D10 now? Your bardic?
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know what level you were, so it's...
Alaric, your held action is going to go off as you see a kobold enter your field of view. With Shivers is a new one.
Yep. Alaric just yells out time for him to freeze. He needs to make a DC 18 con save.
Con save. That's really high. Oh, that was a noble effort on the save. Not as much.
And then
What is happening? There's so many dice.
30. That's how many hit points this spell. Hit points I can affect. So if he has 36 or less hit points, Shiver affects him.
Would you like to know how many hit points this kobold has? And
36.
I can't lie about
It's either
this
36 or 37.
because everybody
37.
can watch this fucking video and see. In fact, has 36 hit points.
Oh dang!
I'm not joking
Wow.
Okay, and so he is now shaking uncontrollably, teeth chattering, and even unable to load a missile weapon.
Okay. Cannot cast a spell or load a missile weapon until the end of next turn. Alright, so it comes out and you just feel a creature with such cold. Alright. So it's shivering from this terrifying blast of cold that it can't properly load a missile weapon.
You might say the cold death grip of the grave.
Yeah. Okay. I would also give you the benefit that maybe it can't properly throw one of its traps as well, though it doesn't say anything about hurling a trap, but I think that's probably fair to say. So instead, it will use its action to attempt to disappear and take the hide action. Which I'm going to actually roll that in secret, even though I don't usually do that, but it feels appropriate because you all necessarily be able to see it. Okay. So that is the number that it got. So if anybody wants to hunt that one down, you will need to make a perception check specifically.
Sorry, where was that guy?
Alaric can point it to you, and Millie might. Actually, I don't think Millie was able to see.
Oh,
North of
not
Alaric.
even on screen. Okay.
Straight ahead and to the left.
We don't really know. We just heard you say some words, then we heard some chattering teeth. It's pretty cool.
The chattering teeth. Yep. However, we've got another one. What is the radius on this? 3 feet. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. All right, this one I think is visible to Millie at least.
This is a much bigger map for 2 sessions for us to have gone 50.
It's pretty gnarly. This time, Millie, this one throws a trap that looks like it's like a grenade or a mine full of shrapnel. And oh, there we go. It's terrible damage. And it explodes near you. I need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Technically, Alaric is in range, but I think he's actually around the corner, so I don't think I'm going to make him roll.
16. So with my evasion, that does no damage.
Nice, you just fucking matrix that shit. It's just stuff flinging everywhere. This one.
Oh, I thought that would make more sound.
Yeah. All in silence. Io.
Okay. I saw the party start to head north and also split off to the west, but
Delicious.
I'm going to start going up, maybe, if it's gonna let me.
Caught on a wall, because that might happen in here.
I think I'm good. So I can move 20 feet with difficult terrain. I can't see the one that just attacked Millie, right? Because it's more to the north up here.
Right.
Okay. So what I'm going to do
where you are now is basically where you all fought the cave drakes. So you have now reached that point of the
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I am going to hold Thorn Whip as a cantrip if something comes within my range, which is 30 feet. And I'm going to use my bonus action to send more healing to Millie for another 9.
Nice.
And that is my turn.
All right. Zaberi, you see a kobold around the corner. And this is a
Closer.
different kobold. This one will hurl behind you so it doesn't get caught in its own blast. That same thing I just described, which is those kind of mines that are just prepped to explode in an area. Better damage too. So Bahn and Zaberi, give me some dex saving throws. This is such a fun stat block for.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
I push you in front of it to save myself.
Just absolutely hide behind her. She takes the full blast. 15.
Don't you remember literally 3 seconds ago?
Not my fault. What's an asshole?
It's like the scenario is like I go save you, move into the space, turn the corner, get smoked.
Yeah,
and you're like, I'm fine.
I'm fine. 15 piercing
So
damage.
is anything else happen?
Or half as much if you make the save. Technically, the ground becomes littered with spikes and becomes difficult terrain, and if you fall prone in the area, you take damage. The area is already difficult terrain, though, so I guess it's notable that if anybody falls prone in here.
I hate this location so much.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Just
If they can combo their 2 traps together that they can throw, it gets pretty nasty, but...
They literally move faster than I do, and I'm like all melee. So I'm just like, come back here.
What's so bad is that I couldn't see the token. All I could see was the initiative marker. So I couldn't even proc my Vicious Mockery.
Oh, you can't see it right there? Damn.
I couldn't see it from its location, no.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see that now, jeez. Alaric.
Question: does flying negate the difficult terrain?
Usually it does, but in this case, I'll actually argue it does not, because the difficult terrain is created from the stalagmites and stalactites all creating a space that's blocking you in every way. So flying, you're still having to navigate through all of those tunnels and everything, versus, you know, if you have something that specifically talks about difficult terrain like Millie does, then I can't really argue against it because it is all difficult terrain. But I think with flight, I will.
Okay. Well, onward. Right. Wrong thought. And
Give me a,
can I make that
yeah.
perception check?
What is your passive perception first?
15.
Okay. If it's a 15, then you automatically see the kobold that is trying to hide to your west as you
Okay.
turn up here.
Okay. I really just wanted to talk. We could have just talked this out, but no. There we are. I'm just going to cast Spirit Guardians.
It's always a safe play. This is the Aura 15. I'm going to turn on another radius. We're going to have radius fights.
Spectral wood chipper.
It's the Spectral Wood Chipper.
Little hussars start flying through the air.
15 feet. Yeah.
Like Polish cavalry?
Yep.
Is that what that is? Okay.
Alaric is a hussar. It's his background.
I only know this because of civilization. But that's...
Yeah.
Nice.
Krakovar is kind of like almost like Poland, medieval Poland in this place.
It's like how
So-
all nerds are very weirdly proficient with like medieval weaponry because of like D&D and video games and shit.
Age of Empires, yep. So yes, I will cast Spirit Guardians and
And this is the one where
Get
if
in.
they start their turn in the radius, then they're affected by it.
Yep.
Okay. That's a good one to do when you having trouble just hitting people to get near you.
and their speed's halved. So
Oh yeah. Zaberi.
Okay, so it's already difficult terrain. Is it double difficult terrain now?
No, not with the shredded things. That doesn't double it.
It does, doesn't it? It becomes difficult terrain as well.
It
Wherever
does,
the
but
area that
I
You
don't.
said it happened.
Yeah, it does happen, but I'm not gonna stack difficult terrain on top of
Okay.
each other. If it specifically said it took like
Okay.
an extra movement, then I would, but I'm not gonna do it here.
Okay.
You're already watching your step and like scooting around to avoid the things. Spike's not gonna do much. Now, if you were falling prone, that's a different story.
Still can't see this asshole. Can I? No. Okay.
You have a 10-foot reach, right?
I do.
All right. Even though your token can't quite see it, I will let you kind of do that like, what's that maneuver like in video games? You're gonna like peer around. But you can do that maneuver and just see.
Q button.
Yeah, the
and
Q or E
Q
button
and
where
E
you're
button.
like peering around
Yeah,
cover.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
do that and see that they are approximately at that. Obviously, they're not right next to you, but they're another 5 feet back around the corner right there. And this one did not get a chance to actually formally stealth. They're just like sitting back there, like maybe working on a trap or something.
Okay, well, get wrecked, buddy.
Yeah. 24 does hit.
9 slashing. How tough these guys are.
That took off a
Definitely
good
got
chunk, but
36.
they do. Yeah, I did kind of tip my hand on that one. Perhaps stronger than the average kobold.
Do it again.
The problem is the only kobold that many of you might know is Bahn.
Yeah.
18 does it.
Those of us that started at the
15.
beginning, we know kobolds.
Oh.
He's still standing?
15, yes, but not looking very good. Like, literally giving off yelps and screeches as suddenly this fucking glaive comes out from the side.
Oh, no.
28 does hit. You're doing a clinic on this. And you nearly slam the kobold back into the wall with the full force of it, and it is like coughing up blood and appears to be just barely clinging to life.
It's a blast from the past. We all started, the original party, started saving the life of a kobold back in Zobek.
I remember that.
This is hard fighting kobolds.
I don't know. I meant to start the session with asking who's ready to kill some kobolds.
Bahn has no ties with these kobolds.
Yeah.
Is there an end button push?
I can do it if I...
Okay, but there is a button for it.
I
I think the little pink button underneath your
What's
avatar
the
in the
little-
chat, I think it's end of turn.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Where?
what that stands for. Yep.
I'm used to doing it, so
Where?
anytime somebody does it, it kind of throws me off. But if you do it early, in
Where?
the actual Roll20 window,
The chat bar.
yeah, the chat part.
Look
Yeah,
under
the
your
chat window.
token where it says it's your turn.
But Eric usually just
open
moves the initiative forward,
Oh.
and if you push the button, then it.
Mhm.
Well, I
Would make
try
it-
to wait a few seconds, but there are times where we might double it.
Oh.
But it's if you
So
all
I
do
can't
it
see it because it's
quickly.
already been done. I guess we'll find out next turn. Okay,
I'll screenshot it and send it to you. So
it's fine. I'll bring it back. Thanks, though. That's cool.
All right, Millie, you're deafened. You've got a giant bright gem. You've been attacked from, I think, the northwest and the northeast at this point, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, I just saw like the very edge of a token, like a kobold, over this way.
Yes.
So Millie's gonna go. They're probably not gonna run into their own traps. If anyone can hear me, just start following where they were, and see if we can avoid their traps that way. And she runs 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
So the one thing you notice in this room right here, which I think is, well, you can't tell because you're lit up like a fucking Christmas tree with a gem of brightness, but this central room actually appears to be glinting a little bit. It's actually free of any stalactites or other major obtrusions here. You got a kind of a clear line of sight, and it's a little bit bigger. As you can see, one of the biggest areas you've seen. And there are what appears to be heaps of gold coins interspersed with bones. And some of the coins are even appearing to be glowing softly in this chamber.
As Millie kind of turns to the corner, she goes, it's quiet. Too quiet. And she looks at all the gold on the ground and says, yeah, this is probably another one of their traps. And she just kind of goes, let's see, that would be 30. And she's going to bonus action dash for 5, 10. She sees someone.
Roll a d20 again for me.
You got it. Oh.
All right.
No.
I would like you to roll on the dragon graveyard traps macro again, Millie.
Well, it's not. At least we're opening up the map.
You sure are. The springy spike trap is this one. So as you round the corner here, right when you think you see a larger creature, you step on a section of cave that gives way to a 10-foot deep pit.
Oh no.
You take 5
Strength.
falling damage, and you're restrained. Oh, it's on a tarp. You're restrained by the tarp. It like wraps around you as you fall.
Oh. Well, she doesn't take any falling damage because the slow fall. But strength 12. So oh wait, that's on her. Yeah. She's already can't escape. Yeah. Is that her action then to do that?
When you do same thing with Zaberi having to escape from something, that does become your action then to escape from a restrained or grappled condition. Yeah.
Okay. Can I use the rest of my movement still though after that?
You can. Keep in mind you're still in a 10-foot deep pit, so just add that to. I know you can climb on walls and stuff, but that technically adds to movement.
Okay, so she has another. I think she has another. After the 10 feet to get out of the pit, another 5 feet, I think.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna get right up into this guy's face.
Yeah, you see a kobold right there, who is ready to get all the traps and ready, and then you just come springing out like the same second that you get wrapped up in the tarp. You just do this amazingly cool tumble, leap, and then you're leaping up into the air, and the tarp's just falling out as you land next to the very startled kobold.
Oh, and she totally does the superhero landing pose thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of my turn too.
Alright. You do hear a large growl coming from the north.
Bahn steps over the.
Well, I don't hear anything.
Oh, that's true.
That's
Like
good.
maybe she feels it in the ground.
Dangerous. Yeah, you might see a rumbling or something, a few what is the classic T-Rex. I don't know if there's any water here, but damn it, there's got to be a little bit of puddle somewhere where
rock
something
puddle.
can
Yeah.
shake a little bit. Yeah.
Bahn steps over the tripwire. Damn kobolds traps. 5, 10, 15, 20. I make eye contact with Zaberi. Don't see anybody else, and I'm gonna look for traps as I move forward one more.
Okay. Give me. Let's see, traps. The first person to actually look for traps, I think. Give me a perception check.
All 3. Hey, I got a 20.
Wow. You for sure don't see any traps. Ooh, let's see, with a 20.
I'm just talking about maybe in the next square or 2.
Yeah. You swear for a second that it looked like a particularly large stalactite moved.
Okay.
That's no stalactite.
Yeah. I don't think
Shit,
there's
sorry.
anything I can
You
Then
said
I
you
wasn't
wouldn't do
gonna
any
make
movie
anymore.
references.
Darn it. Sorry.
Yeah, I
take
don't
away
think
my
there's really anything I
inspiration.
can do with it.
But you look again, and you really think, well, I'm crazy. There's
Right, yeah. Not today. I'm gonna. Let's see, that was my action to do the perception check, so I'm good.
No, I don't think so. I think you can do that as a.
Well, I'll hold another vicious
Okay.
mockery for the first enemy that comes into my line of sight.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be the stalactite that moved?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, you're just a dumb rock. Look at you.
Wait, we're back up to Millie already?
He's weird.
No, they share the same initiative, so somehow they got switched.
Yeah, that's weird.
Didn't you just take your turn like 2 seconds ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like we both
Yeah,
went.
it's definitely not my turn.
What was your initiative before?
23.18.
2318.
We have the same. But I don't know how I
Yeah.
got moved. I did notice on the right side, like our things kept, like our avatars kept showing up for a bit, but I wasn't clicking anything.
Is there a chance that Roll20 flips them every round?
No.
Could
We
be.
have the same initiative?
Hmm.
That makes
No,
no
'cause she-
sense. but I was
No,
just
because she
curious.
definitely went first.
Okay.
Could set her to a 19 so we can avoid that in the future.
Or me to a 22.
Yeah. Well, Millie, I swear you just. Oh, I see what I'm saying. Cause so
Yeah.
you did go, and now we just didn't click the end button. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm losing
Right,
my mind for a
but-
second.
yeah. But Millie and Bahn they're the top of the order.
Okay.
So what
Yeah.
Jason was saying was in the first round it put Millie first
Interesting.
and then
Okay.
Bahn second.
Maybe it does. Yeah.
And then maybe it switched them.
Yeah. It doesn't
So
matter to me if you guys
maybe
want to pick one or
yeah.
the other, or if you want to choose every round, or let Roll20 do it. I don't even know what was doing that.
It says I can change mine, so I'm just going to change mine to a 23 even.
Sure. Alrighty. We got this kobold next to Alaric. Did you have anything set up, Alaric? I don't remember actually. For holding
Spirit
purposes.
Guardians, DC,
That's what it is.
DC 18, DC 18 Wisdom.
Wisdom. How wise are you, kobold? Shockingly fucking wise. This is the Elder Kobold, apparently. Rolls a nat 20 on the wisdom save. Are we looking at half damage or no damage?
Half. So 9 points
Half
of
as much
radiant.
damage. 9 points of radiant damage. Just a little painful. Kobold doesn't like that at all. It's gonna try to hit you with the bolas. Try to throw those bolas at you. The electrified bolas that can restrain. The 17 to hit. No.
Nope.
Just
Nope.
knocks him away. All right,
The,
feeling
the new shield helps. It
yeah,
just puts it over.
feeling a squeak of terror. It will run away. This one is right in front of Millie, which doesn't like to be there. So it is going to... it's actually just going to take the disengage action. And run... And run up this way. 5, 10, 15, 20. They are not impeded. 5, 30. It runs away from you. Io.
Io is standing in the center of this area going just spinning around in circles trying to figure out which way to go and who to follow to help.
It looks hilarious on my end because I can see all this and it's literally like everybody's just fanned out perfectly.
So I think she knows that Millie is super quick and she's unsure of whether or not Millie is actually even still in her aura. And she knows that Bahn went this way and Zaberi, who she's still a little concerned about, went. So she's going to follow the same path that they did. Which I think was this way, right? Towards this trap down here. That was the lane.
Yes, generally.
This-
You think
okay.
you think Alaric and Millie went north, and Bahn and Zaberi went southwest.
Okay, so Io is going southwest. Okay, so I get 10 feet to there. I see Bahn, so I'm gonna turn in that direction. So I'm gonna keep going. Which should get me... Now these T's are things that they identified,
Yes.
triggered.
Those are traps that have
Okay.
either been triggered or have been at least identified as a trap. Like, picture Baldur's Gate 3, and you see the red, thing that's
Okay.
highlighted in red. Basically, so already knows it's a trap.
Okay. So do I have to roll anything when I approach those? Okay.
No, yeah, that's considered to be like you're not. Unless there's extraneous circumstances, I'm gonna assume that you guys can avoid. I think this particular one was actually one that was triggered. This is the one that deafened Millie earlier.
Okay. And I do not see any remnants of any baddies.
You can probably tell that Zaberi appears to be fighting, or else has gone insane. Right around the corner, in this lower left, like definitely has like fighting pose out and kind of in the stabbing motion.
Okay.
I wait for you.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, before I take my action, I'm gonna use my bonus action to heal Zaberi.
I'm fully healed.
You are?
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
'cause you're
I'm sorry. I
bard?
forgot I took that damage. Yep, no. You're right. Sorry.
Okay.
I second winded, but
So
Go for
6 points of healing.
sweet.
Ooh. What is that? What? Are you guys hearing noises?
I heard that.
thanks, Dan.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds like you're getting a call.
So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my action to dash, which I should be able to get. I know it's going to be double movement to get past Zaberi, so that should put me there with 15 feet.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
Kind of looks like there's space above me. Is that right?
Technically, I don't know if you can actually move into that space or not. It's mostly wall.
Just like yeah.
Let's see if we're token.
Paths don't match the grid, so it's a
Yeah.
little awkward.
Kobold is going to try to escape. It's not going to take the disengage. Although you can deny disengages, right?
No.
I thought you could. If they
Unless you know something about my character that I don't.
I could
You
have sworn that
talking
was a,
Sentinel?
Check.
if somebody disengages, you can still attack them. Attack of opportunity.
I don't have Sentinel. I have Polar Master.
Just Polar Master. Oh, okay.
No. It's
Uh,
incoming.
well, it's still not going to take the disengage action, so it'll proc attack of opportunity from you. It's going to try to risk it.
Which way is it going? Sorry, south?
South, yeah.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Oh gosh. It was foolish to try to provoke you. Alright, so we try to turn and run while still like prepping a trap, and then you just skewer it. And the trap just falls harmlessly from its hands.
Shake my glaive a couple of times, get him off.
Alaric.
You're muted.
Okay, let's see where this little bugger ran off to. Oh, wait. I take a step and I can see something behind me? All the way up there? I will.
Oh, you have some insane dark vision, don't you?
60 feet is bright. 60 feet after that's dim.
Okay.
The joys of being partially undead.
Yeah. Just through all the various cracks and things, you think you see a very large creature who has its head basically pointed back in your direction. Its head is kind of sweeping around very slowly, and you can see even a large maw like growling.
So, does a 27 hit?
Against that creature?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 27 hits.
That's the fun thing DMs get to do. Does that hit? For 18 necrotic.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take another step out of direct line of fire. And that's my 3 steps right there.
You hear a growl, and those of you who speak Draconic can hear a low, rumbling single word that echoes throughout this cave, and it's Tarkul.
I guess in his earpiece, Bahn will say, I think it thinks we're Darkul.
Dropping form. We are no longer looking like Darakul. Ending that disguise now.
Well, I think Millie never actually looked like one, correct?
No, she didn't.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So, Millie, you see a large, eyeless dragon covered in spikes, and yet very gingerly and expertly moving through this cave with just a perfect performance of a movement, almost like just a cat with its body being able to slink and slide and squeeze into places, and these large muscular appendages where its wings would be are just huge claws that allow it to move and dig and push earth and tunnels around. The dragon appears nearly fully matured, and although presumably none of you have seen a cave dragon before, this one strikes you as particularly fearsome as it appears to be wearing the skeleton of another larger dragon, almost like armor.
Okay.
And it.
So you're saying we're fighting 2 dragons?
Yo,
And-
dog, I heard you like dragons.
You can see this large head, and you can see its breath, and it leans down, Millie, and speaks, and you can't fucking hear it. And it tries to have a critical conversation, and you are deafened. As you can see, it's very...
She's just holding up her hand to her ear, saying, "You're gonna have to speak up."
He just thinks she's old. That's all. He just thinks she's old.
Yeah. So when you are unable to respond to what it's saying, although you can obviously try and say speak like you were saying, he appears very dissatisfied with that, and kind of the mouth becomes a twisted down frown, and it reaches out and attempts to strike at you with claws.
Hey,
11
that's
is
gonna
a
miss.
pretty terrible roll. Yep. And I'll do one more, about a 24.
Ooh, that one hits.
Oof.
Okay,
Nice.
9 slashing.
And then it will snap in with some jaws.
And that 21 is gonna hit.
Although you are immune to poison.
Oh, that has definitely helped today.
Yeah. It uses its 10-foot reach to its advantage there.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
The other thing that's not good, And bless you all for converging on Bahn's point. That stalactite that I teased with Bahn earlier opens its eye.
It needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
It does actually need to make a wisdom saving throw. It is in the Spirit Guardians. True.
Uh-huh.
That's the first thing it does. It's starting its turn.
Screw you, DM in here. I'm going to introduce this really quickly.
Yes. I'll take that crit fail.
Yeah, it is not very wise, unfortunately.
15 points of radiant.
Everybody's got their things prepped, though. And Bahn's Vicious Mockery goes off, because also was on ready to attack anything that made an appearance, even if that thing was a stalactite. Which is another wisdom save. Which I rolled better, but still taking 10 psychic damage. Alright. It barely flinches with that assault of attacks. And it starts throwing out tendrils. You get a tendril, Alaric. A 23.
That hits.
You are grappled and restrained as it grabs you in its tentacles. Bahn, you get a tendril. I don't think 14 is going to hit you, though. Io, you get a tendril. 16, not going to hit. All right. It's got one more tendril it can possibly use, so we'll just do Token Fate to see which one of you two it's going to try again on. Io, how about a 26?
That does hit.
All right, so you are also grappled and restrained. Then it pulls each creature grappled by it up to 25 feet straight towards it. How high is this guy?
So no damage with that?
No damage yet.
Okay.
Hold that thought.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
Let's see, this is number 4. This is a 30-foot tall ceiling. So...
Right.
And this thing is 10 feet big, it looks like, something. So all of you, not all of you, Alaric and Io are dragged up, suspended into the air. We'll say, oops, I mean to grab both of you. Say probably 20 feet up or so, trying to picture how far down this thing is dangling. And then it will use its bite attack, which it only has one of those. So once again, we'll use Token Fate to see which one it chomps towards, which is going to be Io. And since you are restrained, I believe it has advantage on that attack. And it definitely needed it with a 24 to hit. Io, you take 20 piercing damage as you are grappled by the stalactite, dragged up, and it chomps down with a large maw.
And I have to make a concentration check. Wait. Concentration. Where? Oh, that's a con save, right?
Yeah. Concentration
Right.
is correct, but it's a con check, yeah. Or con save.
21. So I'm good.
You're fine.
I'm good.
Yeah. That is its turn. Then... Millie, you've got a kobold near you. This one pops out just to try to shoot you. About a dirty 20.
And that hits.
This seems bad.
For 11.
Okay,
It's not my fault
11.
your monk ran ahead and triggered another thing. Just throwing it out there.
It seems bad.
Okay, so 11. She's still doing okay.
This one will. You see the kobold ducks back, kind of protectively behind the large dragon.
Okay.
Then it is Zaberi's turn. You, Zaberi, did see very dramatically, Io was there 1 second, and the next you just saw a large tentacle from around the cave tunnel wrap around and just yank her out of your sight.
I wanted to say earlier when he had the roper up, like, I can't see shit, except I could see, like, a slight edge of the glowing, like, turn marker thing, and it looks way bigger than it actually is. It's not that big. Okay, so, step out here, and how high is it off the ground?
The ceiling is 30 feet, but I'm saying it probably dangles down almost 10 feet. So it's probably 20 feet. I said 20 feet is where Alaric and Io are currently being suspended by its tentacles.
Okay, so I could easily...
Pinatas. The pinatas is the word you're looking for, Eric.
Hey,
I could walk here.
you already fish hooked one person. Maybe you can keep doing that.
That's kind of the plan. So could I step into that spot? It's obviously because it's like 10 feet above me, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
It gets a little wonky when we're playing on a top-down map like this, but yes.
Yeah. Okay, and sorry, and who's actually caught right now?
Alaric and Io are both
Io.
suspended and trapped in the tentacles. Yes.
Okay.
So in fact, I'll probably move.
Could I reach the tentacles? Can I attack the tentacles? Is that part of their stat block kind of a thing?
I'm gonna actually move them here as well because it's that's a good question. I think Roper's actually pretty unique about that. Yes, you can attack the tentacles.
Okay. Let's. And do I get the okay.
You can attack them, or you can also use the action to free them from their strain.
Kill it. Kill it.
But if I attack the tentacles, this is actually doing damage. You know what I'm saying?
For that, I would make you roll a check to see how well you know this creature. How well your player character knows.
Can I do that for free?
Yes, you can. You need to...
What?
Yeah, give me a second to see what kind of creature this is.
I think they're monster. Well,
I think that is true.
So
nature check, yep.
No.
See if you've ever heard of such a creature, Zaberi.
What a 15?
15? You definitely have heard, or maybe researched, or whatever, about a roper, which is a creature that is... designed to look like a stalactite, it's like the mimic of the underworld. Has tendrils that can grab people, pull them up to its maw. You would know that they are pretty damn hardy and resilient physically. And that you know that they are tentacles, while they can be destroyed, they are not critical to the roper itself, which is my in-universe way of telling you that the tentacles, they would succeed in dropping their prey, but it wouldn't actually do any damage to the roper itself.
Okay, I will swat at tentacles around Io. 17 to hit.
Are you attacking the tentacle specifically, you said? It does not actually hit. Tough, rubbery substance.
Inspiration.
Said they were pretty resilient.
Inspiration is D10, right?
mm-hmm.
Inspiration. Sorry,
is a reroll. Yeah.
But 24.
24 does hit.
Okay. 17 slashing.
Ow.
Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Max. Is the tentacle still fine?
It is the tentacle. You almost hack through it, but it is still just hanging on. Sorry. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. AC 20. 10. Yeah, no, you definitely sliced through the tentacle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Do you want to try to catch Io or let her fall? Because she is suspended 20 feet in the air.
It should be fine. That's like 6 damage. It should be fine.
All right, Io, give me what's D6 per 10 feet. So give me 2d6.
Overall 12.
Whoops.
Make him feel guilty. Although it is going to force her to make a concentration save.
It's fine. It'll be such an easy con save.
Oh, 10 damage.
It's not a 12.
You're no longer restrained by the tentacles, but you do fall. Take 10 damage. And I need a con save for your spell. You are fine.
Okay. I mean, I could do that, but I lose out on 2 attacks, and that would be definitely not worth it, action economy-wise.
Don't tell me, tell I.
Okay, go for the other one. Let's go for the other one.
The other tentacle?
Sorry, I've got multiple things. Yes, the other tentacle.
Okay. 28 does hit.
Oops, I clicked the wrong. I kicked the wrong thing. Can I keep the roll though?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm just gonna roll it again because it's different damage. Ignore this roll. 10 slashing. Well, look at that.
Yeah, one thing I noticed in the new 2024 sheet is you can roll just the damage if you needed to. They have a button for attack and damage. Seems kind of nice. Yeah.
When I do this, I just have it set to roll damage at the same time,
Yeah, you can do that too.
which is kind of painful when you see how much damage you could have done.
Right. Yes, you managed to also do the same thing to Alaric. Free him. Alaric, give me a 2d6 as you fall down from being slashed open, or having your tentacle slashed open. Not your you know what I mean.
His tentacle.
Your tentacle has been slashed open. Series of menace. 8 bludgeoning damage as you fall down to the ground, but further away from the roper.
Are we prone when we fall?
That's a good question. Give me dex saves.
Spirit Guardians drops. It's a
Oh.
concentration spell.
Yep.
You said Dex.
Sorry, what did you just roll? Con save?
Yep.
Or spell?
Yep.
Take my inspiration.
$23. You are both fine.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh,
Spirit Guardians is gone.
damn it. Okay, I'm gonna butt end this thing with my 3rd attack.
Thank you.
27,
27 does hit. Yep.
10 damage, and I need it to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Boy. Oops. I don't have advantage on that. 17.
Shit. What's my? It's not gonna be 18.
Weirdly wise. Roper sees some shit when it's hanging motionless from the gate.
Spell save DC is 8 plus proficiency plus stat, right?
Sounds right.
So 8 plus 5 plus... Yeah, it's not good enough. Okay,
I'm telling you, Roper's seen some shit. So wise.
turn is done.
All right, freed both your companions at some cost. Bahn, you see Zaberi just go running around, slashing tendrils. The Roper does give off a little bit of a annoyed grunting sound as they both fall to the ground.
Yeah, sorry, I should have been slightly more prepared. I'm gonna shout out, you overgrown caves it. But I think it's clenched fist. As my mage hand becomes a bigger hand. Oh no. But I'm attacking like the Roper itself. I don't know what its AC is. But I rolled a 17.
Okay. 17 is not going to hit the Roper.
Oh no, I misjudged like the distance from down there.
Yeah.
Everybody watches it get real close to it and then just like bink. The downside is that's a whole turn for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to take a step back, thinking that maybe being close to it's not a good idea. So if it gets an attack of opportunity or whatever, it can do that.
No, it's hanging up in the air. It's pretty It's pretty far. You do see that you could get out of its line of sight by going just around the corner, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to see what's going on with these people.
I dare you to tentacle me.
Yeah. A little bit. That's my turn.
All right. Millie.
Okay, looking at things, Millie is pretty hurt right now. She's taking a little bit of damage. So she's going to say, "Oh, crap, it's a dragon, it's a dragon, it's a dragon." And then she's going to swing her sword at the dragon once. Let's see. Does a 23 hit?
Do you have a 10-foot reach?
Do I want to use it? No, she's going to move up 5 feet closer, I guess, before she does that.
Okay.
So with that, does the 23 hit, though?
First of all, as you try to move closer, it flares its spines.
Oh, dang.
When a creature tries to enter a space adjacent to the dragon flares its feelers and spikes. The creature cannot enter a space adjacent to the dragon unless it makes a successful DC 16 dexterity saving throw.
Okay, successful DC 16. Okay.
Nice.
I got 5 feet closer. Let's see, do I still take the 4 piercing?
I don't think so.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, then she just moves up 5 feet closer. I can't actually move my token, though.
Oh, okay.
And she swings the sword once. So she does 13.
Where... Oh, up here? The 23 is the attack roll?
Yeah, the 23 was the attack roll.
Okay, yes, that hits.
Okay, and then she's going to take a swing with her... Just a unarmed strike. Does a 17 hit? She doesn't actually have the +3 right now for unarmed strikes, just for the sword strikes.
17 does not hit.
Okay, then she is going to use the focused aim. And I'm going to use 3 more key points to make that into a 20.
Okay, 20 does hit.
Okay. So she does an extra... Sure, I have the damage off on this. Yeah, she does 12 bludgeoning. Yeah, her monk dice just went up again at 11. So, okay, and then...
You do see the dragon recoiling and just growling as you're able to pummel it with some effective damage. But you
now
don't
with
hear
her
it.
mobile... With her mobile, she can run away now without provoking attacks of opportunity. And she's going to use her last key point at this point to bonus action dash. So she can move up to 60 feet. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60,
Jeez.
and she's going to...
I assume you've
run up
calculated the
and
difficult
back.
terrain. This is halved damage from all that, or you ignore that?
Yeah, this is...
Mobile?
she not ignoring the difficult terrain. That's just her normal movement is 60, so she moves at 30. Then with the dash, she moves an extra
Gotcha.
30.
Okay.
So, and she's going to run up to Bahn and say, "You old geezer, you have to look out in back of me. There's a dragon back there. You go talk to it or something. That's what you're good at."
There's a stalactite that's alive there, but you can't hear me.
Right.
Stop wagging your finger at me, boy.
Millie, at some point you may realize you are in fact deafened. You just hear that whining sound, and even when Bahn's like talking to you, you just hear like.
Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
But oh, she's done.
Okay. Why don't we? I probably should have done this at the very top of the initiative. Why don't we go ahead and take a break here, because I think this combat is going to be continuing for a little bit longer. So let us take a break for about 10 minutes as you guys aggro the entire dungeon on top of you. And we will return in a bit, I'm sure, with nothing but the greatest of success for this party. We're coming back from our break, which means we get to turn the battle music back on. You all are still in the thick of it. There's a kobold just down this tunnel, who you're not quite sure if they're allied with the rope or not, but it appears to be they're unafraid. And we'll shoot a crossbow at Alaric.
Lovely.
Let's see if it does have. Well, you're not within 5 feet anyway. About a dirty 20.
That would normally hit, but I'm going to use a reaction and bring up my shadows. And that'll take my AC up to a 21.
Okay.
You're not prone, are you?
No, they rolled dex saves and
okay.
Actually ended up on their feet. Alright, so with that one, this one will attempt to slink away. Let's see.
Oh, DM. Sorry, I just want to point out I forgot to roll it, but I should have got an extra D10 of damage on my last attack because it was I used a point
On the roper?
That's okay. It's good 8 points.
I can add that, yeah.
And how close was that kobold when he made that shot?
Like 10 feet, pretty close.
Okay.
All right, Io, you are underneath, about 20 feet underneath this large stalactite that is not a stalactite, but is in fact a roper, a phallic creature with teeth and an eye and tentacles, but you are no longer wrapped up in it.
Awesome. Good to hear. Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to be a little selfish and heal myself.
Listen to Bahn.
Eight.
Take it in.
Yes, only think about yourself.
You're
And
a bad
me.
influence on me, Bahn. And I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I've never cast this before with the group. It's called Potency of the Pack. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the option to give us all pack tactics. So the only one that doesn't apply to, unfortunately, is Millie, because I think she's outside. It's a 25-foot range. Is Millie within that as well?
Do you have to know that or not? I guess is the
Doesn't
question.
say I have to see them.
Okay.
It says it's a range of 25 feet, and I bestow lupine traits on a group of living creatures.
Okay.
So
Because what you don't know is that Millie actually did haul ass all the way back here and is in fact within 25 feet of you.
Okay, so everyone will gain the benefits of utilizing pack tactics, which should give us all advantage on our attack rolls.
Nice.
So Alaric is now a
If-
werewolf vampire hybrid. Gotcha.
That's what
Yeah.
it sounds like.
In
Lupine
as long
traits.
as long as we stay engaged within, the typical 5-foot area, we'll get advantage on those attack rolls.
There's no concentration on this buff or anything either. That's wild.
Right.
Nice.
So I still have my aura up, which is concentration. I just buffed everybody. If I move away from this thing, and I don't have to stay within 25 feet, once it's cast, it's on.
Okay, you are not technically in melee range of this creature.
Okay.
But just by seeing it, it's got obviously pretty good reach with its tentacles.
Okay. And the kobold took off north?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to move up to here so that I can try to get 15. It's supposed to be 15. So I can try to get visual north.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Actually, I can go 20. Sorry. 20, because my movement now is 40 feet. So
Okay.
I can go 20.
With your passive
okay.
perception, you can see that there is I can't describe what it is because each trap works a little bit differently. There's some mechanism of a trap that you can see to your north. It might be a tripwire, it might be a pressure plate. It would require a full investigation check to determine what it is, but you sense that this area to the north with your passive perception is a dangerous place to step.
Okay.
And then you can see, actually, because you made it that far, you can see that one kobold did in fact turn east and is now to your east.
Okay, I'm gonna stay there as a block so that no one can get past me to trip that wire, and I will indicate bogey to my right.
I have been the battlefield commander for this whole time. You're like the player who pings everything in a multiplayer game. Just everything's like lighting up and stuff.
And that is my turn.
All right, Alaric.
Alaric will once again call upon the power of the midnight herd.
Turn the aura
And
back on.
we'll point up towards the roper, and the roper needs to make a DC 18 dex save.
DC 18. Oh no, dexterity is probably not what this thing's great at.
Exactly.
Nope. That was a 2.
So the spectral herd will finally work. A group of nightmares appear next to us. A rope grabs the roper and drags it off 60 feet to the south, and it takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage from being dragged along the ground.
A spectral rope wraps around the target, which falls prone and is restrained.
And is yoinked 60 feet in that general direction. Difficult terrain does not matter to the nightmares. It is just the roper being dragged along the ground, boom, 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 bouncing into everything.
Because it's spectral, you can see that they're just like clipping through all of the stalactites, whereas the roper is like just getting hit by everything as it crashes through. Give me another 3d6 of damage.
Okay.
It takes another 15 damage from the fall and from being like crashed into all of these just the cave system, I guess.
So it's out of our hair for right now.
And it's let's see. 60 feet behind the galley heard in the direction of your choosing. Takes 3d6 bludgeoning. Target is restrained. It is dragged another 60 feet and takes another 3d6 bludgeoning at the start of each of your turns. Alright, so it goes all the way down to the south.
Yep.
Can you control where they go, or is it just goes in one direction?
I just point to that direction,
Okay.
and they'll continue going in that general direction as long as they can.
Okay.
or for 1 minute. So it's going to get drug along until it can make a save.
60 feet from
And this is the first time I believe this has worked.
the Yeah. That's a good one to do it on. All right. Yeah, you see that thing just get crashed to the ground and have its eye goes like real wide as it hits the ground and gets dragged crashing far to the south. Although Zaberi, you can already see the spectral herd basically clips through the cave wall here, and then the roper kind of falls down. You once again hear a growl, loud, reverberating, those of you that can hear, in Draconic, basically shout, "Kill these intruders! My home! Kill them all!" But otherwise, you don't see it. I don't think you see it. So it's the Roper's turn. It has, let's see what happens. It has to make
Another DC 18 strength or dex.
Oh my goodness.
I'd prefer it do dex, but you know, it does have options.
Okay, well, it's going to try to use strength things. It's a lot stronger than it is dexterity. The 12 is not going to do it. So it's restrained and it's down here. It can still shoot a tentacle out, I guess. It will try to shoot it at Zaberi.
Did it go another 60 feet?
It can't. It literally hit a wall.
It'll keep going in that general direction. Anything, it'll move around obstacles and stuff.
Like, will it turn east?
But will it turn 90 degrees?
Yeah, it'll go. It continue. I told it to go south, so it'll find any way it can to keep going south out the door we came in.
Once the direction is chosen, you can't change it, but the nightmare do swerve around impassable obstacles. Ooh.
That's kind of vague.
That is kind of vague. It's literally a wall.
Which is an impossible obstacle, so it'll go any direction it can.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. So it will. Is that on its? Let's see. Try another 60 feet. Now take at the start of each of your turns. So right now, so it happens on your turn.
So did it move 60 feet on the first turn?
That's a good question. It had to fall 20 feet down and then go 30 feet there, so we can have it go another 10 feet this way, in which case I don't think it has vision of anything right there. It does not. Okay, so you don't see it. You can maybe hear it giving off some kind of crooning cry, but and you can see like some tentacles like shooting out from around the corners. But if it can't see anybody, I'm assuming it can't actually target anybody. So it is.
And a lot of broken rock all the way down.
Yeah. You could definitely see like the devastation, like the path that it's creating here. But I already rolled its save to try to escape, so that's basically its turn. Alrighty. This guy is gonna go there. We got Zaberi. Roper has been physically dragged away from you.
Okay. I assume nothing's not coming back. I make that assumption.
Might be waiting at the front door for us on the way out.
You saw it be dragged away by a spectral group of nightmare horses. Or ponies, it specifically says ponies.
I'm taking player prerogative and reflavoring that sucker.
The most
Yes,
badass
just,
mature horses.
Up here. And holding an action if something attacks me, I will attack it. I just don't know what else to do at this point.
Yeah, you've heard
That's
this voice kind of carry out, but only those of you that can speak Draconic would have been able to understand it.
Yeah, I would just kind of go up to this point and like wait for us to all get back together or something to that effect.
Alright. One.
Okay.
I do want to... I know Alaric mentioned dropping the thing. I want to try to figure out if that's something... let's look at that. Benefit lasts for 24 hours until you speak the book's command word to end them. If you end the book's effects early, you must wait 1 hour before using the book's magic again. So, I will require unanimous consent, or not unanimous, but like majority consent to drop it, because it looks like it's all or nothing. You can't individually drop the effect of, with the effect being the thing you have now, which gives you dark vision, immune to the stench of gas and Daracool, and makes you look like a Daracool, which is the this magic book effect.
I
Makes sense
do
to me.
not oppose.
Drop it. Drop it.
Okay.
Drop it.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. I don't know if, well, and Millie hasn't actually been able to communicate with you all, I think. Well, yeah, you did. You kind of mentioned dragon, yeah.
Dragon. And then I heard it.
Yeah.
And I'll say, "Oh, what did you do?" And I guess what I'd like to do is move past you. And I guess start, like, because I don't know the direction that it's in.
You saw Millie generally come from the northeast, I'll say that.
Yeah. So I'll move past you and I'll start saying in Draconic stuff like, "Oh, you ossified majesty, the keeper of marrow, the skeletal sovereign, it is I, Bahn, me, a poor humble kobold. We mean no harm." And I think that's as far as I can get.
Okay. Okay.
It's all in Draconic.
Yeah. You think your words have been carried, but it might take a few seconds for it to sink in.
Now you decide to talk to it? Now?
If that's in my head, I would then say, "Well, it did say kill these intruders. My home killed them all. So I'm kind of partial to opening up a dialogue."
And can Millie hear that because it's telepathic?
I don't think that Millie's connected to the telepathic things either. I think that she's just communicating verbally with you guys. So, yeah, she doesn't hear anything. So what she's going
the
to do
perfect
is she's going to just go, "You know what? I'm a little tired. I'm going to just sit down for a moment here." And she's going to, if she sees the dragon, she's going to get ready to attack. But until then, she is just going to sit on the... sit down on the ground, and she is going to use this. Her pipe of smoke monsters. And I just put that into the chat there. She is going to just start smoking a pipe, and she's going to make little smoke monsters of the dragon, like kind of floating around the air around her as she's sitting with her sword out,
I can only
waiting
communicate
for the
via
dragon.
via smoke puffs now.
Oh, and she, one of the puffs, she goes, Oh, by the way, old man, there's probably a trap up there somewhere. Just be careful. And she's going to make a smoke thing of the piles of gold that she said that she saw.
Okay.
And yeah, that's her turn.
I like it. Millie, you're gonna have a point of inspiration for the pipe smoke communication, and for the respite that your poor character needs.
There's not a token for it, but I've got Bigby's hand active, and I'll just have it behind me.
I can give you a token for it. Still got it on the map from last time we used the hand. It's right here.
Oh, great, thanks.
All right. Does anybody have any ready attacks near them? Or is anybody in Overwatch mode?
Only things within 10 feet.
Okay. Well, that will work out because you see this kobold. Actually, I don't know if they have to come within 10 feet. Let's see.
Actually, I have hand axes. I'll hold a hand axe.
The kobold will just shoot a crossbow bolt at Io.
Where is it?
It is around this corner.
So I can't see it.
Out of
Okay.
your view, yeah. But I don't think a 12 is going to hit anyway.
No way.
When tries to move out of your way, you see it move north, Io.
Okay.
And then we've got another one. Will creep out. That was getting tricky for me to try to figure out who I could see. I gotta turn on vision for all these guys. So I'm trying to have them obey the same. This one can actually also shoot Io from here. Yeah. And we'll try to do the same thing. But, geez, you are just... With your magical, like, healing radiance, you're just fucking up their shots left and right. This one tries to move north out of the way of you, and then it's your turn. Shrugging off all these attacks.
Okay. So, all right, I'm gonna have to follow them to see if I can curve, because I can see that this path here breaks off, correct? I can see a wall right here.
Yeah, it looks like it's a whole little branching
Okay.
path right there. And there's a dangerous trap right to your north that you spotted.
Right, so I'm gonna turn around, I'm going to look at Zaberi, and I'm gonna point at the ground right next to me. And I'm gonna say, pass it on, trap, right here.
Yeah, I'll light it up for you.
Don't go north. And then I'm going to take off this way. And see if I can. So if I get here, would you say that I could see this person, or are they around the corner?
Yes, you can see them. You can also see just a little bit of a kobold down here. And this middle area, like I see, is actually very free of obstructions, and it has that suspicious pile of coins and bones intermixed in just kind of a large cavernous room.
Okay. And this is Millie I can see down here, correct? No.
That is Bahn. Millie's a little bit further
Right
Oh,
down.
down
shoot.
here.
Okay.
Ageism.
Yep.
Then I can't. My apologies.
Actually, with your
I'm
passive...
older
Sorry, I
than
have to
both of you, so
I have to keep interrupting because your passive perception keeps noticing things.
it's okay.
It's a very trapped dungeon. You spot wires leading from some of the coins, or just the pile, I guess, in the middle of the room, to several columns around the perimeter of this room. And you look and you notice there's like wires running all through like all of the pile and all of the columns.
Okay. Well, I'm going to communicate that don't touch the gold. Definitely trapped. And I'm going to shoot a thorn whip as my action at this one because it seems to have some line of sight on some of my party members. So does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay. 7 piercing.
Yeah.
And I want to pull it 10 feet out into the open.
Yes. Right in the middle of the pile.
And with my bonus action, Bahn, you haven't taken any damage, right?
Nope.
Okay. And I can't see Millie, so I don't know if she's damaged or not. So I'm gonna just go ahead and heal myself this time for another 4. And that's the end of my turn.
Alaric.
Can't see anybody.
I guess you hear the spectral nightmares dragging that roper further away.
So, get to make what, another 3d6 on him?
Yes, I think so.
Hey, not bad.
Well,
Oh, what's this? Who are you?
yep, you see a kobold has been just awkwardly pulled into what appears to be a large room with a pile of gold coins and bones in the middle.
Well, that's convenient. Very convenient. Do I see the thorn whip around him still?
I think it's always an instant effect that occurs, right? It's just like the one time, so it just kind of whips out and then comes back or something.
I was going to thank Io for bringing something for me to hit. So, chill touch.
Yep, 21 hits.
And
Good lord.
I love cantrips. They're fun.
That is almost max damage on the cantrip.
And I'll use my bonus to keep the shadow Regis up.
That 24 damage cantrip destroys this kobold. Like, just that... The shit, what is this? The skeletal
Still
hand or
touched it.
something? Yeah.
Skeleton hand just grabs him by the throat and just finishes him off.
Yeah, it just falls down and just blood seeps over the these coins.
Finally!
You hear that deep growling seems to respond to you, Bahn, just and again reverberating off of the cave walls, and says, "You are kobold. Evade my home. Attack me."
Is there time to respond, or
Yeah, you can respond.
he says, "No, that's a crazy old lady." That probably doesn't translate so well in Draconic. I don't know how that would come out. And
Dragons mature their respect their elderly because dragons only literally get more powerful as they age.
and say, because I'm kind of shouting this,
Yeah.
I think, here, and saying, we don't want to invade your home. We just need a simple staff.
Bring Darakul in here. Kill.
Do you want to come with us? I can show you where there's a couple of them.
Trying to see what the. I just closed that in. There it is.
Alaric looks down at Bahn. What are you yelling about?
He said he wants us to bring Daracool here.
Well, you think he's referring to seeing you all as, or maybe detecting you all as Daracool initially.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, he'll just say, it's a misunderstanding. Don't eat me.
Why here?
I have somebody who has some things to say to you. I'd have to interpret it.
As the spectral hand just lowers the kobold to the ground, and Alaric looks up and sees the dragon at the end of the hall. Oh crap!
Yeah, you can just make out like the edges of it, and it's got these large, like again, claws just like kind of crack open and move a few paces, and it's got this large eyeless head, like a xenomorph, but yet it's still tracking you perfectly and like looking in your direction. And you can see its mouth, like, you know, speaking these words, and you all have, I'm sure, have heard Draconic before, but maybe not quite from a literal dragon.
Bahn would continue with just supplicant honorifics and saying like, could we please have a court with you, master of
This is where I was. This, I think, is where I was going to tell him that I understand his pain, lost a lot of family to the Daracool, don't want to cause any more harm. If we get the staff, we'll leave and we'll go do a lot of damage to the Daracool. And can we be friends? Common enemy, lost
Sounds
my own
like it.
family.
Longer than 6 seconds.
It's not a sending spell.
Yeah, you can. I'll let a brief conversation, but you can tell the dragon is hesitating for a moment, and it seems to kind of lift its head and say, not since Daracool anymore. Since blood fallen kobolds you kill.
Self-defense.
Self-defense from invasion of home.
By mistake.
You enter here by mistake. It says, give me one reason why would not pull your bones out one by one.
Bahn, I think, starts sweating a little bit, like if Alaric looks over. And he'll say, we want the same as you. We want to kill the Daracool.
Are you translating this into common for us to understand?
I don't think so.
Roll a persuasion check, Bahn.
It's 19. Man.
Woo!
That's close.
It's a 19 versus an 18 right there. You can see the dragon creeping towards you, or maybe feel it, like the
Rocks falling.
ground. Yeah, rocks falling and ground shifting, and then all of a sudden it stops very still. And
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot!
and it seems to hesitate for a moment. And then it says a few words in rapid succession in Draconic, which, Bahn, to you sound like somebody kind of barking military orders, like very crisp military orders.
Yeah.
And you all can see many of the kobolds immediately lower their weapons.
Bahn will say, "Put down your weapons," like in his earpiece thing, and point to Millie and say, like, I don't think he would know that you can't hear yet. Yeah, so he just say, "Put down your weapons."
Her weapon right now is a pipe, by the way. She's just sitting on there unspoken a pipe.
I guess so.
Yeah, she's just covered in blood, sitting down, waiting for the dragon with, her sword at her side. But if someone comes up and, taps her on the shoulder or something, and, motions down or something, she would just drop her weapon, yeah.
The voice rings out again, Bahn, and says, "Approach slowly.
Bahn
Kobold speaker."
looks to Alaric and says, "All right, we're gonna do this."
Do what?
I'm not privy to
What
the
are we
whole
doing?
part of this plan.
And says, "What do you wanted to talk to him? Here we go." And is going to start making his way slowly, like looking for traps as he goes along.
Yeah.
He's going to cast his eyes down. He's going to tell Alaric, "Don't look directly at it."
As you all move up, you see many more kobolds.
Like filling out the spaces around.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
When Millie comes up next to me, I would look at her and say, "You okay? Are you feeling okay?"
You're gonna have to speak up, dearie. I did something with my hearing a little while ago.
The dragon, the dragon barks out as many of you start approaching and says, "Just you," and points a large claw at Bahn.
He'll put his hand
You
up.
can see its spikes start flaring as more of you start approaching.
Yeah.
Roll an insight check, Bahn.
26.
You observe this dragon in the skeletal armor that it has, and you think it seems a little younger than perhaps you would have thought. Maybe has only recently matured. And you think it appears like a young person who is trying to act stronger. You can kind of detect that he may be more nervous and anxious than he lets on.
I'll keep leaning into it as much as I can.
The skeletal armor also looks very similar to his own structure.
Yeah.
Talk about walking in your father's footsteps.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like he's wearing a parent.
He's wearing his dad.
Ooh.
Are you?
We have a dragon with PTSD. Alaric's really identifying with this thing.
He'll put his hand up for a second and say in his earpiece, "No one step closer. It wants to just talk to me." And then say, "Are you Gaunt Cap?"
Yes.
And those before you, were they also Gaunt Cap?
Other dragons, kin. Spirits still linger. Bones. And he kind of flexes. Still linger. Reminder.
Right, yeah, family's important. We've had we've had several run-ins with the Daracool. We've had one that's
He just this low rumble, and whenever you say that, just
we've had one whose entire family, his whole existence has been wiped out. He's on a revenge. It's crazy. He's really aggressive. We have a construct who's been made because was it because you were killed? No.
No, I was dying of a disease.
Okay, I was gonna say it's of a disease spread by the Daracool. And just kind of keep going on with like the situations that everybody individually has been infected by and how they want to see a stop to the Daracool also.
he leans in close and appears to be like you can see like these weird like appendages, feelers kind of just feeling out. And he speaks again after a moment and says, "Felt Daracool here. Now no more. Where are they?"
They don't exist. It's an illusion. We have to wear the disguise to blend in down here. Otherwise, they'd kill us on sight.
He seems to give the mannerism of somebody who's like leaning back and like taking that in. Like you've kind of blown it, like the dragon equivalent of like blown his mind, or he's just like considering that.
Like I swear I smelled it. Yeah.
Yeah. Magics, powerful magics.
It's been a crazy ride.
Why are you here?
We need a staff that's been stories have said that it's been left here. It's simple. I don't think it's anything fancy. It's just like
As
a
soon as
scroll
you say
attached to
staff,
it.
he growls again.
We'll pay for it. We'll trade for it. There's like an owl back here that you can have.
Fortunately, there actually isn't, but I can make one. The cat
says, "Staff, great prize. Took years ago. Daracool, who entered my lair. First kills." You notice he doesn't have eyes to flick, but he kind of imperceptibly, when he talks about the staff, kind of tilts his head, and you follow his gaze, and there does appear to be a pile of treasure in this back corner where several kobolds kind of stand around looking nervously, and you can see it's mostly just coins and some gems, but then kind of piled up to where the gems create like you'd mound around a plant that you just planted or something, is a staff that has a skull on the end of it.
In his head, Bahn will talk back to the group and say, "Well, damn it, it's important to him." He says that it's like a trophy from one of his first kills. Any ideas?
What if you
Mm.
promise to only borrow it, return it after we use it to defeat the Darakul?
Or give him an exchange of one of my Darakul kills.
It sounded like he was pretty proud of it because he did it.
I'm pretty proud of this one as well. He might respect it. Because I still carry around a helmet of a Ghost Knight. And I have my mask that was from a Darakul assassin.
Can I roll anything to see if nah. I think Bahn would still think that he doesn't want to necessarily trade because he didn't jump on the idea. And borrowing it, I think Bahn doesn't have a problem fibbing. The problem is that Narrow Sane is intending to keep the staff.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be a situation where we are intending to give it back. So if I do say that, it would straight up be a lie.
He does seem to do almost a sniffing motion, but you can see the feelers reach out towards behind you to Alaric, and he says, "Stents Darakul things."
He nods. He says, may I bring him up? He's the one who's lost his family. He also has important things to him. Do you mind if I speak for him, through him?
The dragon nods slowly.
And Bahn will shift over.
You have a feeling, even though you might be awkwarded by this conversation, Bahn, you also think the dragon is awkward in having this conversation. It's just not too often. You feel like you're speaking to a teenager who has not been properly socialized and has been through some trauma.
I'll pass that information on to Alaric. I'm not sure Bahn's the best person to have a sensitive spot.
I understand. I feel his pain. I lost all of my friends, all of my family, my country, from the ones who brought him pain. And I've lived the last 10 years getting revenge. Slaying Darakul, vampires, any undead, and pulling out a Ghost Knight helmet from that first Ghost Knight that you guys helped me kill, pulling out the mask from that assassin from the first adventure we had back in Zobek that we had chased down. Just pulling out these things, setting out. It's these are some of my trophies. With your help, we will go and we will take the fight to the Darakul. We've already destroyed half of one of their outposts, killing hundreds. Give us the staff and we will do more. Your pain will be avenged.
I do not change the wording.
Okay. He leans down and seems very interested in these items that you have placed before him, and actually considers them very carefully, and kind of even picks them up. And it's awkward because he doesn't have normal senses that you would think. Instead, he just kind of uses touch on everything, and really just seems to consider each one very carefully. And then also kind of flicks it doesn't touch you, Alaric, but kind of you can feel he's projecting these senses towards you. It says, "You have a Darakul kills. These are good. Are they magic at all?"
No. Not that I'm aware of. It's that the white mask that the original
Horrid.
assassin that took the blacksmith's daughter,
Yeah.
that from way back when,
Yeah. The
and
first chapter.
then the first Ghost Knight captain that we killed when we were trying to we were at the shrine.
I think it was the
Where
second
Alaric
chapter.
intimidated, yeah, when Alaric intimidated that one guard to go to the Ghost Knight Castle.
Aren't you wielding a Darkul weapon?
Nope, I've got I had the spider rapier from
I think
Zobek.
it's,
Torben's got
Torben's got
the
the
generals.
blade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Torben's got the blade. Yep.
Shout out to
Okay.
Torben. Yeah, he does like these items, but flicks towards the staff and says, "My trophy is magic. You need this magic to kill Darkul."
It would certainly be helpful. Yes.
and Bahn would continue to be like embellishing and say, you know, I really have to compliment you on your strong army of kobold warriors. Their traps are top notch.
He stops for a minute and puts an arm out to the wall, and you feel the whole place vibrate for a second, and he pulls his arm back and says, "There are some dead. Will you compensate for the loss?"
What do you propose?
You see it again flick its head towards its pile of coins and gems. You see a single on that pile, what looks like a Darakul war pick that looks slightly magical, and then in addition to the staff, it says something magical. Concap deserves this much for trade, yes?
Oh, definitely.
I have something else I can offer you. Would you want your servants back, your kobold servants back to you to serve you forever? Ghouls in your own service. Slaves.
It growls very low at you, Alaric.
The ultimate revenge.
It might
Into
be-
your service forever.
Well, I guess it should say that if Bond chooses to translate that.
as you're saying it, Bahn just out of the side of his mouth says, I think he might think that's disrespectful.
Okay. It was an offer.
I
I have,
think he
some,
just,
I have something.
I think he just wants something magical, and I will like that will be like just common. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have something. I'll pull out my glaive.
No.
This weapon is
Absolutely not.
killed thousands. Hey, I've got my special stick, remember?
Oh.
Yeah, but that reach, dang.
You can translate. It's literally killed thousands.
Will you pass it up?
Mhm.
Okay. It's very unwieldy for Bahn.
It's very shiny. Yeah, it's like 9 feet long or something.
The initial
It's got a
reaction,
ruby.
from the
It's got
dragon
a really big ruby in it.
is to almost act like you're going to attack, because you bring out this weapon and then hold to Bond, and he kind of like, you can see the dragon kind of get into almost a defensive position. So Bond, how do you react to being held this gigantic weapon?
Yeah, so like I'm trying to like point it down and try to turn it sideways in like this tight space or whatever where there's stuff everywhere knocking into things. And I'll say this magnificent, beautiful woman, warrior,
has killed thousands of Darakul with this glaive.
The dragon looms over you and leans down and very gingerly with two, and you can see even like the poisonous fumes like it's like gathering in its mouth. You don't think it's from about to breathe, but just like a drooling mechanism almost. And you can see very like two fingers just pluck this glaive and consider it, and even uses like again that touch and kind of feelers all around it. Says, yes, a killer of Darakul, ghoul, death. Cap can feel it.
You're so smart. So powerful.
Strong warriors ventured here. Do not know why staff is needed. Tool of evil. Slayers. Killers. You will kill them.
As many as we possibly can.
You can see it uses its large form to very gingerly walk over to its treasure pile, and it sets the glaive and then uses like a few like quick movements to like very gingerly put it in like a very nice spot where it's like kind of again mounting the coins up where it's in a very central area with the ruby glinting off of the light that you guys are shining, and picks up the staff and kind of does so as if somebody was picking up like a piece of trash or something. Just kind of like you can see like the lips like sneer a little bit, and kind of a feeling of disgust as he picks up the staff and turns and actually bypasses you, Bahn, for the first time, and actually reaches over Zaberi and hands it to you.
Take it and nod quietly and step back.
It does that crouching thing around. I will mention as a quick DM aside, because this was I think like 2 sessions ago where I talked about this. This area was the reason the Darakul came in here and killed all the dragons years ago is because this path leads to Krakova. There is a entrance that goes all the way there, so they killed everybody so they could march their armies through there. And then I believe Narrowzane had told you that much because you all still had your Bahn, I guess, specifically has his entourage of human slaves, I guess, or fans. And you've been trying to offload them. And
yeah, I mean, I would definitely, if like we're still having like audience and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still just trying to talk up like how impressive he is and how tight a ship he's running. And I'm saying I'm assuming it's he.
Yeah.
And would see if it's an option for just humans to escape back to the top.
He asks like where they're from, to, like as a point of caution.
I'll tell him that we saved him from the pit of all flesh, like just outside the pit of all flesh.
Okay. But
which we mostly destroyed.
Right. Yeah. I think that was part of the initial conversation.
Yeah, which actually, if he starts to like listen at all, Bahn would start to go into one of his what's the thing when you get a song of rest? He'd start to go into like one of his like stories that like reenacts like the whole sequence of what everybody did.
He seems enraptured by this You even see him like sit back on his haunches, and at one point his tail like lashes and kind of knocks over. Like normally, he's so like careful about going through, and he's kind of knocking over things as you talk about how you all like just walked right into the outpost and especially into the arena itself, and then all hell broke loose and raining down all this sunlight. And when you mention the sunlight part, if you mention that part, he even like recoils a little bit, and you get the feeling he also is obviously not a huge fan of light. But he seems very intrigued and happy about all of this. And when you mentioned that they were freed from the dark pool, he kind of considers this and says, "This is food you bring me?"
No, we misunderstood. I can't stop you, obviously, but I would like them to leave freely.
Maybe just one.
Again, you're the one that gets to make that call. I'm doing all I can. I'd ask you not to.
He considers and says, "Why?"
There's so much death already.
They are kin.
He looks at. Maybe they're kin. I'm more kin to you. That's why we have this strong connection.
He kind of absently like rubs a hand over the bones that he's wearing. He's like, will not eat kin.
Yeah, I've grown pretty fond of them. It's gonna be hard to say goodbye, but they'll live a better life on top without me. Bahn starts like a tear rolls down his eye.
Yeah, really selling it. He nods.
Bold tears.
Says, "You trade story and deeds for their freedom. They can go. Cannot guarantee safety on surface."
Oh yeah, no, that's on them. We appreciate all of your I can't think of a word for his benevolence, maybe.
Sure.
Generosity?
Yeah. I'm getting tired, so it's hard to come up with like
Yeah, and you can tell that when you're using these words, the dragon is trying to keep up with you, but clearly is outmatched by your way with words and the way you're stringing all that together. But he's trying to act like he's like just at, again, like the teenager who's like sitting at the adult table and like,
like, oh yeah, this is exactly.
They're very like self-conscious about like, oh, I need to, act like I'm really know what I'm talking about and everything. And you don't think it's like a malicious intent or anything. It's just maybe one of just hasn't quite matured yet in that way. But yeah, is there any parting words you want to say to your human entourage that you've had for like 6 sessions or something now?
Yeah. No, basically, I just want it to be like that moment that you've had to say goodbye to your dog. Like that it's you're like rehoming a pet or something. I don't know if that's ever been. I've never done it.
I have said goodbye to several animals, and it has been extremely emotional.
Yeah. So it's really just one of those things of like the old joke of like you'll have a better life in this where you can run around free, and you don't have to be chained up. And he's saying it as he's like unlocking like each one's manacles or whatever.
It's still in manacles. Yeah, they appear to be both wary and relieved and nervous about this new path forward, but a few of them even kind of try to shake your hand, whether or not you let them or not. Others are like disgusted with you and hurrying along. There's definitely not a consensus there with everybody's feeling.
Yeah.
Alaric will give up 2 of his side weapons, his spear and his warhammer, to maybe give him a chance.
Okay. Yeah, they accept these very nervously, kind of looking around to make sure you're not going to make them fight to the death or something. And then they are just absolutely scooch around the dragon as much as they can, and there's like some back passage, I think, that's in the corner that indicates that they go to the tunnel. The dragon leans in to you, Bahn, and really regards all of you and says,
Kill many Darakul and return alive and tell Cap of your victories. Yes.
I'm excited to retell the tale.
Cap would like to hear it. We'll let you in. Do not.
Does he keep the helmet and the mask?
He does appear to favor them. You can talk to him about it.
I would tell him that the helmet is from a great captain that we slew.
Yeah.
But I have use for the mask if you would let me use it, and I'll return and tell him stories.
Okay. He nods and accepts it. He likes that he gets to keep one of the trophies. But yeah, he definitely accepts with letting you have the other one. Alaric, Bahn, and Zaberi. I think you can all have a point of inspiration.
Thank you.
Negotiating with said dragon and gaining the Staff of the Underworld, which Narrowzane did warn is only really unlocks its potential in his hands. And it does appear to be essentially just a +1 quarterstaff when you examine it. And a creepy looking one that's got a humanoid skull on the end of it. Yeah, you guys can leave this place unperturbed. You can see one kobold, a couple of kobolds probably escort you all, making sure to not let you trigger any traps on your way out.
I think before, just if it's okay,
Yeah,
I think Bahn, before he would go, he would like try to approach Godcap.
Okay.
Just as he's leaving, and he would put his hand, like he'd slowly try to put his hand toward, if he can try to sense it, and ask if it's all right if he touches him for a second.
You sense that the dragon is a little nervous at this, but his nerves have been going down and down and down as you've all been having this conversation, and you feel like at this point, he very nervously nods a consent.
And he just he goes to just touch his snout, basically, and like let it sit there for a second, right?
Okay. This is very How to Train Your Dragon, where you see, you reach the hand out and the dragon's like the nose is like right there, and the camera pauses for a second, and you don't move, and then the dragon kind of moves up to place its snout kind of where your hand is.
Yeah. And all he wants to say after several seconds go by, he'll say, "You're doing all right. You've made them all proud." And then
the dragon doesn't say anything, but you feel it kind of vibrate a little bit, and it's a response that you haven't seen or felt from him yet.
And with that, that's how he'll say goodbye.
Okay. Well, I already gave you inspiration, but that was very good. Thank you. All right. You all can leave the dragon graveyard behind and Zaberi's glaive behind. Very impressive. I love that this campaign keeps encouraging players to give up magic items. And you can return, which I will... Oh, well, I guess we could talk to Slathers again as you all come back out if you want to talk to Slathers. He's going to montage you very quickly.
Did he have to fight a roper? That's what I want to know.
When you head out of the graveyard, you travel for... Actually, it's probably visible. When you exit the area that's the graveyard and enter kind of the more bigger tunnels, you see a just dead-ass roper lying in the middle of the road, like on its side, just deflated, like just the most awkward looking thing.
It's roadkill now.
Yeah, literally like roadkill. Yep. Yeah, when you all come, you're practically on top of the guard post by the time Slathers turns around. He's like, holy Ferdinand, there's nobody ever comes from that way. Everybody's usually coming this way. Oh.
Did we bother to put our ghoul disguise back on?
Oh,
We
shit.
did not. We did not.
You did
Nope.
not. Yeah.
Slathers, you saw nothing?
Yeah, it looks
You
like he's
know
he like
nothing?
fumbles at like a that bone like arm club at his side and kind of drops his. Oh, you folks look familiar. Is this an invasion?
That's your choice, Slathers.
Where's my horn?
That's your
I
choice.
should have a horn or something. He looks like he's panicking a little bit, but doesn't look. He just kind of looks around and realizes you're not going to hurt him, and then kind of backs away at the guard post.
You didn't see anything.
Oh.
And Alaric will pop his fangs and look him square in the face. You saw nothing.
Damn. How the damn Morgow made it through the graveyard. He's like mumbling to himself basically as he walks back and shakes his head.
Yeah.
You all can montage your way back to Narrowzane. The insects, can welcome you back to the inner sanctum as you find your way back to where his little throne room is. And you can see his undead eyes light up when he sees you all. And he just flicks a hand. And Zaberi, wherever you had the staff, it just comes flying out and into his hand, like just lightsaber style. And then it glows with a dim purple light, forming web-like patterns across the surface. And he stares at it for a moment and then turns back to all of you.
You are as powerful and clever as I judged you to be. And your convictions are true. I shall hold my end of the bargain.
I believe that is where we're going to end our session of Empire of the Ghouls. Thank you to Brandon, Dory, Morgan, Jason, and Stan for playing. Thank you to all the patrons for helping make these sessions happen. Shouts to Platinum patrons Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brennan, Zenicider, Eclectic, Role Plural, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Tyler, Nathan, Camp Chrisley, Counselor Andrew, Dell, The Reldron, Stephanie, Patrick, Jason, Ismail, Ahmed, Lumpy Spud, Sharni, Warden, Harold, Unimona, LLC, Jamie, Reese, Tom, and Lucius. And gold patrons RPG, Papercrimes, Pretty Boy, and Yuma, The Lizard Lounge, Jerome, Nathan, Fezzicator, Scott, Rufus, Carolyn, Jerry, Glenn, Marcus, and Mark. Thank you all very much for your support. Hope to see you all next time.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks, that was awesome.